Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Frankie de Jong, as it has been reported that Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag still considers the Barcelona star as a key piece for his team. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Barcelona loanee Samuel Umtiti, it has been reported that Umtiti is yet to play a single minute for Italian side Lecce, undergoing period of adaptation, according to reports. We are also going to be looking at that. So guys, before we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. At one point, it seemed inevitable that Frankie de Jong's time at Spotify Camp Nou would come to an end in the summer, with Manchester United having their sights set on the Dutchman as their dream midfield signing. Barcelona's unwillingness to pay the 25-year-old his deferred wages meant an exit seemed destined. However, the Young's affinity towards Barcelona meant he stayed put, as United remained unsuccessful in their pursuit to reunite Eric Ten Hag with his former colleague. As per a report by Sport, the Red Devils remain keen on the arrival of the former Ajax linchpin, as they are plotting a potential bid in January for the midfielder. Despite their interest, the red half of Manchester are aware that the transfer is more realistic in the summer of 2023. Ten Hag considers his fellow countryman as the key puzzle in his jigsaw puzzle to make things click in his intricate tactical system to ensure his project takes flight. As things stand, it is claimed that the situation between the Young and Barca are tense, despite the former's decision to stay at the club. Ultimately, the Eredivisie champion would be open to a possible switch to Old Trafford if he becomes an irregular starter for his current side. However, Frankie de Jong and his partner are believed to still be loving life in the city of Barcelona. In recent weeks, it has been reported that Xavi's men are prepared to keep the player at the club, provided he agrees to reduce his wages. While it was mentioned that the silky tactician would agree to do so in order to continue his time at the Spanish side, it will be intriguing to assess how the situation pans out as time passes. Up until now, Manchester United still continue to show interest in Frankie de Jong, despite the player insisting that he wants to stay at Barca, and it seems as though Ten Hag still wants to push to reunite with his former player at Ajax. And let's look how it's going to look, because right now Frankie de Jong does not play regularly as he used to. Xavi rotates a lot, and we can see that Gavi, Pedri, Sergio Busquets are the three main players in that midfield unit, and Frankie de Jong have seen his role drastically reduced. So if that will really push him out next season remains to be seen. So United are still keen on the situation. They still believe that they can and they have the ability to pursue Frankie de Jong. They have the ability to convince him to join them next season. But if you ask me, I would say I don't know. I don't think Frankie de Jong looks like a player who thinks or who even believes that he'll leave Barcelona anytime soon, because I see a Frankie de Jong, a player who likes to stay at the club despite his reduced game time under the new balls. Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona. He believes that he's a key piece in Xavi's plans. And of course, things might still change because we know Barcelona, Xavi still fancy bringing in Bernardo Silva from Manchester City next season. And of course, Bernardo Silva might bring some drastic changes in the team. Frankie de Jong might leave because I don't think Frankie de Jong and Bernardo Silva can stay put in the same team. And looking at the kind of the wages Barca still owe to Frankie de Jong, deferred wages of up to 18 million euros, that might still be a problem. That might be something that Barca can make them to push Frankie de Jong out of the club, knowing fully well that they cannot accommodate all the wage bill, given as if they succeed to bring in Bernardo Silva from Manchester City next season. So it remains to be seen how next season is going to play out, because Frankie de Jong still continues to be strongly linked to Manchester United, and I think it's going to be it's going to be very interesting to see how it's going to look like if Frankie de Jong considers leaving. But to be honest, I see Frankie de Jong still persisting that he wants to stay at this club. He wants to succeed here, despite his reduced role under Xavi. But who knows, things might drastically change because Xavi and Laporta still fancy bringing in Bernardo Silva from Man City, and that could still make a drastic change in the fate of Frankie de Jong at the club. So this report comes just a day after yesterday. I quite remember we spoke about reports how the safe United still retain interest in Frankie de Jong and they want to make an offer for the player again in the summer next year. So let's see how it's going to look like if actually Man United go for him. But if you ask me, I would say I don't think they will succeed because I don't see Frankie de Jong fans seeing going to Old Trafford. Maybe their form is too bad and they are not looking as though they will improve this season. I'm talking about the Old Trafford club. But except there's a drastic change there in the way, in like this, there's an aspiration in the club that they want to go far, they want to play Champions League next season. Maybe, just maybe, that will push Frankie de Jong to go there. Then on to the next story of discussion. Perhaps one of the most bizarre moves of the summer was seeing Samuel Umtiti agree to join Licey on a season-long loan. However, the temporary move was seen as a chance for Barcelona centre-half to get his career back on track for the Serie A side. Upon arriving in Italy, fans flocked the streets to greet a once World Cup winner, a world-class defender. All the expectations seem to have been misplaced so far, as Sport have reported that Umtiti is yet to play a single minute for the Italian side. It has been stated that the former Lyon centre-back was on board with manager Marco Baroni's plan that involved him undergoing a period of adaptation. Playing a combined 917 minutes in his last two campaigns, the French international has been out of action at senior level for a significant period for all practical purposes. It is all worth remembering that Lecce had bowed to the Catalan club's demands of covering a certain portion of his wages, which is reported to be around the 10% mark. Furthermore, the newly promoted side have also agreed to pay bonuses towards the marquee signing if he plays a set number of matches. However, the lack of playing time for Umtiti is considered an issue of a lack of match sharpness rather than an attempt to forgo the payment structure in place as part of the deal. Ultimately, this is no skin of Barcelona's back, considering the two-time La Liga winner already has one foot out of the club's door, with Lecce covering a mutually agreed section of his weekly wages as well. Xavi's side have virtually nothing to be worried about when it comes to Samuel Umtiti's lack of time on the pitch as of now. They would be hoping to get to grace the pitch soon, though as many minutes under his belt would help his case in the summer when Barcelona inevitably look to sell him. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.